Pasteles are a traditional dish in Puerto Rico. The masa is made from a range of ingredients. Here, we are using butternut squash as the calabaza, yuca, plantain, and malanga, which is also known as taro. The squash is peeled, trimmed, and the seeds are removed. Then it is sliced in elongated pieces. This allows for easier processing when being fed into the juicing machine.
You can also eat these if you want to. It tastes like 100% sauce. So we're going to do butternut squash first, because the butternut squash juice is actually kind of delicious. But if we do yuca, yuca has poison in it. So we're going to do yuca last. So the juice doesn't get poison? So we mix the juices. Oh. So that's down, and to put it in the juicer, it has to be in chunks. You can put it in this mushroom bowl.
Using a champion juicer greatly increases productivity and offers a huge advantage when making this and many other dishes that would present a challenge to a conventional food processor or blender.
You can cut them smaller? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so these chunks, we can put in the machine. So should we do this part so you can see what the juice looks like? Yeah, we're going to juice this one
It is important to process the ingredients in a sequence using this tool, or the juice will have low levels of toxicity. The finished masa adheres to itself better if the juice is removed, but the yuca and malanga have toxins in them for defense. These toxins are later rendered safe through boiling. The plantains are trimmed and peeled. These are conveniently sized and shaped to fit in the hopper, but produce a sticky paste with little juice when processed. This acts as an adhesive to help give the masa structure after cooking. Traditionally, this process took many hours of strenuous labor, using simple grating tools or a mortar and pestle. Next, the yuca is peeled, trimmed, and also cut into elongated pieces for processing. The tuber is coated with wax to prevent spoilage and to protect it during transport and storage.
So these things are full of starch, and starch is the stuff that the plant uses to grow. It's like a reserve energy stash. Not quite like them. But also, other stuff like this too.
Yeah, but if it's not open.
So we're going to cut this.
If it's closed like this, then doesn't be able to get it.
Because it has defense mechanisms against toxin.
At this stage, the juice is separated for later use before processing the tubers. Changing the ratio of ingredients will affect the finished overall consistency and strength of the masa. This recipe is equal parts of yuca and calabaza, which make up 3/4 of the mix. The remaining quarter is about equal parts of plantain and malanga.
And then we can just put it in. Is that bad thing? The other side's fine. So we're going to do that here. Look at how much. These things are big, and they make so much skin. And if you actually feel some of the skin, if you're soft, I think you go like this, but it's really hard. Really? Or you can take a different one. If you take one with the skin, it'll feel like super hard, but now it's super waxy.
The yuca is fibrous and cuts easier with the grain. Excessively woody parts are removed for a smoother finished mix. Malanga or taro is also a commonly used staple of the island. Using it here offers a smoothing effect to the finished masa, along with a pleasant aroma. It is peeled, trimmed, and then fed into the hopper. The malanga has a similar processed consistency to the plantain, yielding little to no juice and a sticky, pasty pulp.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap with that. So you just put it over there. I'm pretty sure you're gonna put it in wrapping foam maybe. Look at that. That's everything we put in the champion mix. Oh, look, this is inside.
The hopper is then removed, and the remaining pulp is scraped out using a silicone spatula. It is important to clean the pulverizing bit and hopper by hand to ensure there is no structural integrity damage before storing for later use.
I'm pretty sure this is a recipe from my grandma's house.
Yeah. So we went to Puerto Rico, and we learned a lot about Puerto Rican food.
It's very
Then
good.
we took a lot we learned, and we came back, and we had something we could buy here, and we would have here to make Puerto Rican style food.
Yeah, like real Puerto Rican food, not like American Puerto Rican. Because that's like in restaurants. Restaurants, if you learn Puerto Rican food, it's American Puerto Rican, you know what that's again. But it's better if you go to a place because then it's different. Okay, yeah. Why do you think
This is cool. This is spicy.
Oh, yeah.
All sorts of stuff inside there.
Cool.
So you want to get all out of there, you have to use a small tool. See, this is all food. Do you want it? There we go. That's all it. Now we can see it.
Now it's time to season the masa. Sea salt is added by overall weight or volume of the mix, since the raw masa should not be consumed. Here, Himalayan pink salt is used.
See, that's like oil. Now it's like, take it on. The coconut oil. Yeah, it's coconut oil. You use grease in it. It's coconut oil in this shop. See?
Cool. So this is all the whole thing stuff. What is this? Yeah. And this is another stuff. I'm going to show you that many times. Wait, look at these. Maybe you've never seen a video. Look at these tiles. So all around the corner. So they start going there, and then they go all around. They're pretty good, like, and right there. That's the left.
I think it's 2 teaspoons of salt for this. No, 2 teaspoons.
I'll give it this one. That's 2
So 1 tablespoon must be 2 teaspoons. Just for sure. So just all full. And you want to sprinkle it evenly over. Sprinkle it like that. There you go. No more.
One more.
Okay, let's see. I have one more.
Achote oil is an infusion of annatto seeds and garlic, which produces a rich red oil and is a vital component to creation of this dish. It is also used later in the assembly process. This must be prepared in advance and must simmer at low heat for several hours.
It's pretty good consistency, huh? It's pretty good consistency. We have our spices in here. Right? So where are our spices? Where are the spices? What, the sesame? We're going to bring our own sesame. Oh, there's a big chunk in here.
The consistency of the masa is then checked by hand before adding the spices. A traditional sazon blend consists of cumin, coriander, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, turmeric, and oregano, which are all added here in equal parts. Additional oil may be required based on the moisture level of the added spices. The spices are then incorporated evenly by folding the masa back and forth with a silicone spatula. It is vital to add an appropriate amount of seasoning to the given volume of mix, since the raw masa can't be tasted until cooked thoroughly.
Does it smell fresh, you know? We're gonna turn on hot.
At this stage, a large pot, which has been filled about 3/4 to the top, is set to boil in anticipation of the finished pasteles.
There we go. So it's on high. So it would boil faster. It's not on right now. But once it starts boiling, this is it. And then we're going to make the hour, but it's not actually going to be an hour. But give it an hour for us.
Cotton butcher's twine, parchment paper, and scissors are used in conjunction with real banana leaf to wrap the finished dish. Some achote oil is poured into a small bowl. This is used as a barrier between the masa and the banana leaf, so it can be removed easily before consuming.
That is what made this like tiny, like onesie. And then I think we're gonna like put this around. No, I think this around the banana. The banana leaf, and then we're gonna wrap it around the string.
So we're going with scissors. Scissors.
Assembly begins by cutting a placemat-sized piece of parchment to put the banana leaf on. Fillings may vary greatly from sweet to savory. This filling is made from pork loin that was slow cooked and stewed in advance. Heating up the filling in the microwave allows for a more pliable rolling consistency.
Like this much.
The banana leaves must be cut into plate-sized pieces and washed before use. This is the heart and soul of this dish. It emanates a wonderful floral banana aroma through preparation and cooking. A 1/4-inch thick layer of masa is then placed on the oil-laden banana leaf to cover about 3/4 of the leaf in a rough rectangle. The heated filling is now ready to place on top of the masa rectangle. The filling is richly seasoned and consists of only about 1/3 of the finished pastela. In the large pot, the water is now boiling. This is the ideal time to add the sea salt in order to effectively dissolve. The proper amount depends on the overall volume of water and should taste as salty as the ocean. In the past, this process was all done by hand and without the use of parchment paper, which would have required extreme skill, patience, and a great deal more time. The filling is placed in the center, bearing in mind that the masa will fully encapsulate it in the cooking process. The leaf is gently rolled back and forth. Then the sides of the parchment, including the ends of the leaf, are folded before rolling into an envelope. Then the envelope is held closed by wrapping the cotton butcher's string around it, crossed over itself, and tying the ends on the opposing side of the rectangle, perpendicular to itself. This technique is akin to wrapping a present or package. This process is then repeated until all the materials are used up. It's important to remember that in order for all the pasteles to cook evenly, they must be around the same size and all dropped in the boiling water at the same time. The size varies greatly depending on the chef. These are larger than what is typical.
If you put your masa, you won't be able to. Make sure you put it inside. You don't want it to be on the outside. It's on the inside. Okay, this size. This one has meat that should be in there. This one has meat that should be in there. You see how big the size now? So, it depends on the size of the hand, right?
Yeah, two non-yellow. I don't know if I make a million, but a big volume pot right for me.
There are many ways to fold these properly, but one thing remains the same. They must survive the 45 minutes to an hour of violent boiling action without falling apart.
Yeah. You want to try one? You can make this more like
Well, we got
How many we got?
so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. We didn't make 8 more, we didn't count. You got it here?
Take a look.
You're going to take 1, 2, 3, and then you want to 1. Oh.
The masa and banana leaf are very versatile and can accommodate a wide variety of fillings, although savory and sweet seasoning may differ.
You do this. Do it on mine. Look at me with the filling.
Yeah, for you. Yeah. You want to switch it?
Yeah, you go.
Slide it in.
I think if people are also going to Pasteles Masa, you should probably just watch you hold me because it's going to be
That's right, not that hard.
I know, but
Oh, a long time ago, people would these not hard. They're easy. First you come in, and that's really hard.
Banana leaves can be stored indefinitely in the freezer, and many chefs assemble pasteles, then freeze them. This can be done before or after cooking and does not affect the finished product.
Pasteles takes a long time to make, right? So you have to be patient. And this is what it's you don't throw them before. There we go. About 6.
Okay, two more.
Two more. Maybe it's not over. Maybe that's the
Just take this one. We got more than one.
Although initially daunting and complicated, this dish can be made by the whole family, and ideally, it is more fun in a group.
So we use masa.
Wow, that was super long. Was almost that one. I mean, like, we don't care. This is only garlic. This is garlic. So you don't want that. Is it going to not do this. It's pretty wild. Was it called 1? So this is not me. The very last one is everything on top of this.
Looks like we have extra masa. You can take it. All right, let's well, let's put it in. Right.
Once again, we see it like
After running out of pork filling, the 2 remaining pasteles are filled with roasted chicken and kale lasagna, creating an Italian-Puerto Rican fusion that proves this dish's versatility.
There's a whole language of nuts. There's a whole language of nuts. There's nothing to do. It's awesome. It's all the rest of stuff. There's nothing to do.
Now that all the pasteles are assembled, they are quickly dropped into the pot of boiling water, counting as they are dropped in. Then a timer is set for 1 hour. The cooking time varies between 45 minutes to 1 hour, based on the size and number of pasteles.
Set a timer for 1 hour.